What's up, guys? My name is Scott. Follow along as we shoot our trad bow in a blizzard out here in the mountains of Colorado, walk through one of the coolest archery ranges I've ever been to, and get soaked to the bone. Let's do it. Oh, pretty wet out there. So today we're headed up to my favorite archery range in Colorado. I am a big bow hunter. I trad bow hunt. I don't even own a compound bow. Been shooting a couple years now, and I like to stay fresh. If you don't shoot your trad bow, the skill falls off pretty dramatically. And it's actually like late May at this point, and we're getting snow in the mountains here in Colorado. So it's just a perfect time to get up and shoot some arrows. But can't wait to show you guys this range. It is super awesome. I like to do a couple warm-up shots here before we head down into the actual range itself. So I just like to throw a couple arrows at 20 yards just to get everything flowing. I'm a lefty, so you guys might be like, wow, that's weird. But I don't know. I've been shooting a lefty bow for a long time now. Feel the shoulder collapse on that one a little bit. This is the setup. Well, my groupings are pretty good, but I'm a little left. Not bad for some cold shooting in the morning. I'll take that. So the reason this range is so cool is because it's kind of like a golf course where you walk around the mountains and shoot at different holes, and it just makes you so much better. I killed a mule deer a little while back with the trad bow. It was my first deer ever, actually. And I can only equate it to practicing on this range consistently. Yeah, there's like tons of angles, up, down, like all sorts of weird diagonal shots. And honestly, it just makes you a better bow hunter. But here we go. I think it's super important to shoot your bow in really challenging conditions, because when you're hunting, especially with the trad bow, nothing ever goes your way. So it's good to prepare. This is one of the reasons that this range is so cool, because it is so wide open. It really mimics the actual hunting you're going to find in Colorado, which is awesome. So from here, we're going to shoot the doe mule deer and then the buck. I'd say the doe is probably like 25 maybe, and then the buck is maybe like 40. So we'll give it a whack here and see what we can make of it. Much better. All right, that wasn't bad. I mean, it was a little bit of a gut shot, but like it's quartering away, so that would have been a kill. All right, the buck is a bit of a poke. Here we go. Oh, foam is home, honestly, on those longer shots. So I'm actually pretty happy with that. Much, much better on that one. All right, let's check out how we did on this guy. I actually shot him in a perfect little row here. That looks great. So first shot, second shot, third shot. All right, you guys, we're gonna shoot the bighorn sheep, probably 20, 25 yards away, quartering away, headed downhill. Everything is so wet right now, you can tell how soaked I am, but it's good to practice while you're wet. So here we go. Bighorn sheep right there, if you can see it. We'll try and put one in the vitals. Oh, a little high, but I would definitely take that. That was not a bad shot at all. Oh, that was way worse. Plucked it hard. Nice. That was pretty good. Oh, in the dirt. You know, one thing I absolutely love about this range is that it illuminates all of your holes. So if you are a bad shot, this range will let you know. So here are the first two I shot on the bighorn sheep. Not terrible. Like I said, vital package in the rep. Okay, not bad. Could be worse. Now we have one in the vital package, and then we have one in the dirt. So actually, both of those are technically a win. I got into trad archery a little while back when I went to a bow shop, and they were like, you should buy this. And it was like $1,000 compound bow. And I was like, dude, I don't even know if I like archery yet. Do you have something like for like $200? And they gave me a Samick Sage like recurve bow. And I was like, this is awesome. Great. And here we are a couple years later, and it just got more expensive and like kind of better. You know, I like take trad archery pretty seriously, and I only bow hunt with a trad bow. I don't even own a compound bow, honestly. So it was originally for price, and now it's just like such a love of the game. Like getting really close to stuff and shooting it with a trad bow is just like completely unmatched. So it's kind of spoiled me, honestly. It's like starting with a short board when you're learning how to surf instead of like a long board. You get more experience quicker. It's really frustrating. I mean, it took me a long time to connect to stuff, but after I started connecting, I was like, wow, this is sweet. I'd highly recommend traditional archery. Now we're going to move on to another section of the range that I really love. It's got a lot of awesome targets set up, and it's just a sweet spot. I mean, this whole place is a sweet spot, but like the next section is really cool. Big fan. You know, it's kind of turning into like full-on whiteout conditions out here right now, which is pretty fun. I'm actually not that uncomfortable. It's not really that cold. I'm originally from Minnesota, so Colorado cold doesn't really feel the same as Minnesota cold does. I mean, it's all snow, you know, but it's not that bad. Just wet, super wet. Look at this. Feathers are wet. Everything's flying weird. But if you can shoot in shitty conditions, then you can shoot in any condition. So here's the next section of the range. We've got a blind right here. Never go in there. My bow doesn't fit. We've got a tower, which is fun to shoot off of, but we don't do a lot of tree hunting here in Colorado, so I mostly just shoot from the ground. But let's take some shots. You know, one of the things that haunts me from this year is opening day of turkey season. I missed a turkey at 8 yards with the trad bow, which is such a bummer. I missed its head. It moved its head right at the last second. The arrow whizzed right by its head. So embarrassing, but it was fine because I got a turkey the next day with a shotgun because my pride was injured, so I picked up the shotgun instead. Anyway, we're going to redeem ourselves right now with our turkey target. Oh, I still would have missed. You know, sometimes those shots that are like really close up are even harder than the ones that are far away. Sometimes it's your day, sometimes it's not your day. You know, that's why we're putting in the reps right now. There we go. This also probably isn't the best way to do things, but I drink a fat cup of coffee before I come up here in the morning and have no food, so I can sort of simulate the jitters of actually hunting. Definitely works. Definitely makes me miss stuff quite a bit. There we go. Man, let's go take a look. Okay, so this is our turkey target, and this is my shot grouping. I am not on it today, but that is okay. A couple in the vitals, one in the chest, and one up the butt. But that would have been a miss. Honestly, that turkey would have flown off. So, all right, you guys, we went up the tower, which we never do. We're gonna do it for you. We're gonna take some long shots from an elevated position. We got an elk at 50 and a buffalo, I don't know. Actually, 45 maybe? I'm literally guessing. I don't hunt with a rangefinder. So let's give it a whack. Oh no! That's okay. It's okay. All good. Couple more. Bison. Foam is home. Kind of punched my arm on that one, honestly. There we go, in the elk. All right, we should quit while we're ahead. Let's go see how we did. Alrighty. You know, that's not terrible. From all the way up there, right there, that's not that bad of a shot. I did, however, put one in the dirt, right over here. And then one in the bison. A little far back, that's okay. Alrighty, it wouldn't be a complete day up at the range if we didn't take one pot shot at 50 yards. Let's do it. 50 yards with the trad bow. Here we go. If I can get it anywhere near the orange circle, I am pretty happy. Oh no. In the wood. That sucks. Well, let's go take a look. That sucks. So, this is what I was aiming for, right there. And that's where we landed. It is super not fun digging out arrows from the wood because they damage your tips and just overall, it's not what you want, you know? This archery range is so much bigger than anything I showed you guys today. There's 2 other whole sections that are way harder. So on a nicer day, we'll come out here and break some arrows, but today was just a nice little breakfast run. Well, thanks for following along, guys. I really appreciate it. I think it's super important to come out and shoot your bow when the weather sucks because it's important to know how your gear works and how you shoot when things aren't going so great. So if you want to see some more hunting, fishing, cooking, travel stuff, follow along on the YouTube channel here. Thanks. Bye.